Welcome back to Zero Gravity Live. We're still here at Veeam On. It's been an amazing conference so far, and I'm joined by my good friend, Jason Garbis, author of Zero Trust Data Resilience. Good to have you here, Jason.
Great, thanks, Anthony. It's good to be here, and it's nice and cool inside, and it's really hot and humid outside.
That's just true of Florida in general. I love that Veeam On's always here, my home state. It's good that other people get to experience what I go through 365 days of the year, So Jason, earlier, you and I were in a panel, and it was all about Zero Trust Data Resilience. Now, our viewers know, because we always talk about ZTDR. I think we probably got a QR code we could throw up, just talk about the white paper that you've worked on. How was the panel?
Panel was a lot of fun. So it was hosted by Ray, who's the field CISO at Veeam, and you were on it along with an Object First and a Veeam customer. And the audience clearly are people here at the Veeam On conference, so they're data backup and recovery, storage professionals. And I think we did a really good job, if I say so myself, of introducing the concept of, first of all, putting Zero Trust in context for them around what it is, this big trend of the industry, reminding them that they probably have a Zero Trust initiative within their organization, and then painting the picture for them of the concepts of Zero Trust data resilience and how and why it's so important to bring data backup and recovery into the Zero Trust world because of all the terrible things that happen if you don't.
No, and I even noticed as my eyes started to adjust to the blinding spotlights that were on us because they were so bright. Like there were light bulb moments happening in the audience. People were starting to really key in and get Zero Trust data resilience, especially as you were explaining it and kind of breaking it down for them. So that was a great session. And again, if you haven't had the chance to read this yourself, do check out that QR code that was up earlier and give it a read. Now, I want to shift focus a little bit. This is your first Veeam On, correct?
It is, yes.
Yes. So what do you think so far?
I have worked for many, many years in the security space, and I have not worked in the data backup and recovery space. So it's really exciting to be here and see the energy level, the breadth of customers and the breadth of vendors that all make up the Veeam ecosystem.
Yeah, no, the energy here is definitely palpable, and I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. We hope we can bring it back again next year too. So to talk a little bit more about Zero Trust and Zero Trust data resilience, given everything you've seen, you saw the keynote this morning, what do people at Veeam On need to know about Zero Trust moving forward?
I think there were a couple of things that struck me in the keynote. So first of all, terrific innovation from the Veeam platform. But I really like seeing Tamika, who is the CISO, maybe she's the CIO, I don't remember. I think the CIO of City of Fort Lauderdale, and also a Veeam customer, telling her story about how Veeam worked for them and really saved them when their city hall flooded, the HVAC and the power systems flooded there and they had to do a recovery. But she was also touching on the need to tie what they're doing to the business and to get out of our silos, right? We love technology, we love our storage, we love our infrastructure, we love our security, but to really take what we're doing and deliver business value. And that's true both on the storage side and on the security side. And I think that's something I talk a lot about to enterprise customers on the security teams, which is Zero Trust is great, but if all you're doing is improving security, you're missing out on the ability to actually transform the business and let them adopt new technologies and embrace new processes and open up new markets in ways that are much more secure than you could have possibly done before.
I love that. And I think what you said is important is it's broadening out, right? Like this is becoming a conversation that goes well past just security, even past data backup and recovery. It's a much larger conversation. So to that end, I also ask, just based on everything in general, what do you see as the future of Zero Trust, even beyond this conference here today?
I hope that Zero Trust really becomes the de facto way that everyone is thinking about security and making sure that the things that we do from a process perspective, of course from a technology and infrastructure perspective, but also from a people perspective, really brings that to light. We touched on this a little bit in the panel this morning where we talked about deep fakes and the need to make your business processes more resilient to those types of things, where if you can't trust that someone on the other end of a Zoom call really is a human being and they're giving you valid instructions, then that changes the way you're doing things. You need to have a business process that's much more resilient to, okay, boss, you're telling me to transfer $2 million to this account. Great, I'm not going to do it until you submit a ticket through our system and it's validated with MFA. To build that kind of resiliency into our process, if you really can't trust this larger ecosystem of interactions.
Right. This morning during the panel, our co-host, Zach, mentioned that, he tells his team, never hope things go well. And that really stuck with me. Just in the live moment to hear him say that, I was like, yeah, that's really good to keep in the back of the mind. Like you should never be hopeful that your security is going to hold up or your backup's going to hold up.
Right.
You need to know and test and validate and stay up to date with all these things. So for me personally, I just want to make sure that it's not just the people in this call or on the stream or at this event. It's everyone's becoming more aware of the importance of learning about security, understanding zero trust and zero trust data resilience, and furthering their education with it.
Indeed, indeed. And I think one of the things that we talked about on the panel was the need to make sure that you have a resilient set of processes and people, because you can't have a backup and recovery system where there's only one person in the organization who can operate it, because you know what? They're going to be out of the country on vacation when something bad happens. You need to make sure that it's documented, you've got multiple people, and you practice this, for goodness sake.
Absolutely.
And an object first, obviously, having the type of simple solution you have makes it much easier to accomplish that.
So you said it, and we'll close out with just a little bit on object first. How do you feel about the booth?
The booth is great. I love the purple and the orange. It's bright and colorful. The carpet's pretty comfortable. And every time that there's the show floor is open, you got a nice crowd of people here for the demos and the trivia sessions.
Yeah, I got to give you a shout out. You did get our trivia question right earlier. We asked who's credited for inventing the internet, and the answer was
Tim Berners-Lee.
Yep. So Jason was the only one. We had like 20 people here. You came in and saved the day. I was almost embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was like, how does no one know this? So that was great. Thank you for saving the day there. Now, Jason, you're going to be joining us for a webinar towards the end of June. So if you found this interesting and educational, which I hope all of you did, be sure to sign up for that webinar. We'll be putting information out soon for more time and date on that. But we'll be going all in on zero trust on that and having more conversations around this topic. Jason, where can people find your stuff?
So you can reach me at numberlinesecurity.com or on LinkedIn, and happy to connect. And through my website, you'll find my blog, as well as links to the research white paper on zero trust data resilience, as well as our new guide, simple guide on ZTPR.
Well, we appreciate having you here, Jason. As always, it's a pleasure to get to talk to you. And we hope all of you are having a great time watching our streams. We'll be seeing you real soon.